This episode of the Ponder Football Coaches Show is brought to you by Montana Ridge Outfitters. You love hunting and the outdoors, and so do we, and that's why we've created a way for you to enjoy it every month. With Montana Ridge Outfitters Shirt of the Month Club, subscribers get a new shirt with one of the top hunting ranches, guide services, or dealers from the United States and around the world. With this shirt style of your choice, members receive a 5x7 color card that has pictures, information related to each month's subjects. In addition, our website features previous month shirts as well as MRO merchandise. Go to MontanaRidgeGear.com and select a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription and begin receiving your packages in the mail the following month. Now, as a member, you will not know what month's subject will be until you receive it in the mail. Thank you for being one of us, and we look forward to supplying you with next month's shirt. Again, that's MontanaRidgeGear.com. Also being a sponsor is Heroes Heating and Air, servicing the North Texas area for your heating and air conditioning needs. They can service your existing unit or design a complete brand new system. Whether it's just for a service or a new install, pick up the phone and give them a call, 940-597-9638. A tough loss for the Lions. They have to rebound quick. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponder Football Show, right here on S2S Sports Network, part of L4 Media. As the Lions lose to Peaster 34-0, and Ponder now goes from being, if you beat Peaster, you've clinched a playoff spot, to now you're fighting for either third, fourth, or you might be out of the playoffs. And you might be out of the playoffs even if you win out. That's how quick things change in these districts, especially 4-3A Division I, that, you know, outside of Brock and Paradise, it's been very competitive between Whitesboro, Ponder, and Peaster, and you're seeing how that all's playing out now. Of course, as we said, Ponder lost to Peaster. Whitesboro beat Peaster. Whitesboro's 3-1 in district. They've still got Paradise and then Ponder next week. You're assuming they're going to be 3-2. Ponder has Brock this week, Whitesboro next week. Hey, let's be honest here. We're going to assume that Ponder's going to be 2-3. And so it's going to come down to that last game against Whitesboro. Hopefully all you have to do is win and get in. There might be a chance, though, that you have to get beat Whitesboro by at least 8 points. As always, we're going to be talking to the head coach of the Lions, Coach Marcus Schultz, and we'll be talking about that game against Peaster and the upcoming game against Brock, and we'll do all that right here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponders Football Show when we come back. Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie, and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. Barry Bennett back here on the Montana Ridge Outfitters Ponders Football Show, now joined by the head coach of the Lions, Coach Marcus Schultz. And, Coach, frustrating results last week. It kind of felt like you had a moment and it kind of slipped away from you. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, Terry, we, obviously, Peaster came out ready to play. Coach Owens had his kids fired up and ready to go, and I didn't on our side. So, I'll take some of that on. I'll take some of it on me as a coach and our coaching staff. And so, but they, I thought defense played very well last week. They kept us in the game, and we just really couldn't get things on the tracks offensively. And so, we've got to be able to play all phases of the game, and we just didn't come out ready to play. And Peaster's a good team, and they put it to us.
Well, and you and I had talked about it the week before that, hey, yeah, that was great, that Pilot Point win, that Boyd win. But Peaster, you couldn't look at their record. They, just like y'all, have been getting better week after week after week.
Oh, absolutely. And they're a hard-nosed team. They play downhill, and the offense likes to keep the football away from the opponents, and that's kind of what they did. But I will say that, our defense, if there was a bright spot, our defense stepped up and, kept us in the game most of the night. They still held them to 260 yards, 270 yards of total offense. And so, that right there just tells you, with the score 34-0, we put them in some tough spots, because there's some short fields that Peaster had to go and score on. And so, but we're going to regroup. We've got Brock this week, and our kids still know that the playoffs and everything that we've talked about is still attainable. And so we're gonna prepare and get ready to go.
All right, let's talk about the Brock Eagles. Of course, we all know about them, back-to-back state finalists. When you look at the film, what stands out?
Oh man, they're a great football team, and so you're not. I'm not going to say anything that anybody else in the state of Texas does not already know. Or, Coach Mathis does a tremendous job. He's got phenomenal athletes over there. Those kids play hard and they play every week. It's not they play down to their opponent or they play up to their opponent. They're going to play and they're who they are. And, we know we're going to have to put a good game plan together. And our kids are working hard. We had a great week of practice, even with the rain and some delays. But, we're going to go out there and compete. They do things very well. They're very sound, offense, defense, and special teams. And so, we know that we've got a lot on our hands, but our kids are prepared and ready for it.
I want to go back to you talking about that defense, and even in this game, and you talk about y'all gave them a short field, you gave up a kickoff to begin things, that gave them a short field and such. But the talk about you when you came to Ponder was you're going to turn this defense around, and you've done that, and you've done it with a young squad. How much further do you feel that this defense has to go this year?
I don't know that they have to go much further. They're going to do what they do, and they play hard. And so Coach Cordell, our defensive coordinator, obviously his dad hired me for my first defensive coordinator job. So a lot of what we do is he's been in it, he's played in it, and he knows what the expectation is as the defensive coordinator from myself. And so our kids are going to fly around. We're going to play hard football, and we're going to play fast football, and we're not going to think, but we're going to react. And so, I think that they have stepped up. We are very young. But, with that being said, they're not going to put any pressure on themselves. They're going to go out there and compete week in and week out. And so, I think that they are what we are as a team. And so, I think the epitome of our defense is hard-nosed, flying around, trying to be as sound as possible as we can be. And last year, the defense here in Ponder, in district play, gave up an average of 61 points a game. And so you look at that and look at this year, we're giving up 28 points a game. And so I would say that that's a tremendous difference so far. And so we would like to continue that and continue to play hard.
When you're playing a team like Brock and the success they have, is that something you point to with your young squad? And we talked a little bit about that when y'all played Paradise, that you point to them and say, this is what we want to eventually be.
Absolutely. And I think that's anybody that you play that's a caliber of a Brock or of a Paradise or when you talk about any other, very high quality programs throughout the state of Texas. I mean, you kind of want to emulate and you want to be them. And just like we are at Argyle, we want to be like them, but we want to be Ponder. So Ponder Lions are going to get there, and our kids know that we're going to get there. And they, I think that they feel it and they smell it. And, they understand the expectations that we as a coaching staff have and what our standards are. And so, it's been fun to watch them kind of change a lot of their work ethics and habits these last, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks once season got started. And so I think they understand, they know what we want to get to. They want to be one of those top teams that instead of chasing the target, we want to be the target. And so that's kind of our motto.
Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments for Coach Schultz or for me about Ponder, about 4-3A Division I, about 4A in general, email them to me, Terry at S2SSport.com. You can also find us on on Facebook, just type Sideline to Sideline or L4 Media Company. You can find Sideline to Sideline on Twitter. That's the main Twitter I use in season, at Grant and Terry. My personal Twitter is at TX Broadcaster, but mainly I stick to the Sideline to Sideline Twitter during the regular season. All right, so as we talked about it, that Peaster loss, it's a big step back for Ponder as far as the district race. I still think it's a big step forward as far as the program. Playing, the difference between playing as a bunch of sophomores against a bunch of seniors, we're not talking about football skill. We're talking about just pure size, pure physicality. You're going to be you're going to be facing an uphill battle most times. That's why you don't see a lot of senior or sophomore laden squads go deep into the playoffs. Even if you might be a complete better football team, the physicality, it starts to wear down. And I also think that after the run that they had of 3 straight, the comeback win against Pius, the blowout at Pilot Point, the great game against Boyd, you're seeing a sophomore squad take a little step back. That's going to happen in the growth. When a program is on the rise, it's not always linear. And it's not even always linear season to season. Sometimes it's a game to game in that moment. And you saw that with Peaster. Had a chance to lock down a playoff spot. You lost it. Now you've got to fight for that. And we'll see how they do this week against Brock, but more importantly, next week against Whitesboro. And we'll talk about Whitesboro next week right here on the Ponder Football Show, brought to you by Montana Ridge Outfitters on L4 Media and S2S Sports.